I grew up in a very black and white existence of good and bad. Darkness from the get-go as a kid scared me. I don't think that's that abnormal for children. At night is where my most fearful thoughts would start to invade. Mine was of death, of loneliness. There's nothing scarier than death, so I thought. First time I drank? First drink of alcohol, I was 19.
What do you remember that day?
Peace and comfort. So you asked me what black and white means. During that period of time, I could really only describe black. Black was what I was drawn to, the dark, the night, the partying. And it's fun until it's not fun anymore. And that darkness becomes a cage. I'm numbing myself out because I don't want to face all of the shame and guilt for the consequences and the things that I've done while I've been using and drinking. A foreboding of what might be to come. When you enter treatment, one of the very important questions that they ask you about is, are you in any legal trouble? And just like everything else that involved any ounce of shame that they asked me, I either under or over exaggerated. The Williamson County Sheriff's Office shows up at my parents' house with a warrant for my arrest. So they sit down and they sit me down and say, look, you're the bad apple of the bunch. We don't want you to be the one that brings everyone down. Your parents said you're not coming home. If we decide not to keep you, we're going to be taking you to a truck stop down the road and we'll give you your things.
How old?
24. I thought death was the scariest thing. The scariest thing is isolation. It comes to the point where you either fix it or you lose it. My burning bush moment came when I walked out of that room. You feel it first before you see it. The sun rising and feeling warm, recognizing that the sun was rising. That was a level of awareness that I hadn't felt since before I picked up my first drink. That aha moment really happened over a slow period. The veil began to lift. I realized that I had people that I could relate to that previously I never would have thought that I had anything in common with. We were all like people saved from shipwreck. I started to feel joy again. It's because of the doing, the actions that you're taking. The scariest thing truly is a life not fully lived. My pitfalls paved the way for something profound. So when COVID hit, we knew we couldn't afford to lose the community we had created. Our lives depended on it because our recovery depended on it. The necessity to connect however we could brought light to a much larger community. And it lit the path to recovery for many who couldn't see it before. I'm hoping that these conversations will let someone out there know that they are not alone and that there's light at the end of the tunnel. Tragedy gives us, if we let it teach us, the gift of perspective on the other side. I look at what came from COVID. This podcast is one of those things. It was one of the best surprises I never knew I needed, a recovery community needed, an outlet. A gift.